Welcome to Here's How We Get There. It's the daily show filled with conversations about business and mental health in a down-to-earth style with real-world language. Now let's dive in with your co-hosts, Kenneth Shark Kinney and Trey Tucker.
Shrinkflation. Shrinkflation is in the news once again. And for people not familiar with it, we'll give you plenty of examples. I think today, Shark, probably the unintended outcome is that we are going to make sure that we are never sponsored by things like restaurants again, because I have a few names I'm going to throw out as some examples for shrinkflation. And I know you have a story you want to tell us.
Yeah. So shrinkflation, just to set it up for everybody, is when you think about, you pay $1 for a box of crackers. They still charge you $1 6 months later when inflationary pressures are going on, but they make the box skinnier from the side, or you get less crackers in it, but you're still paying $1 for this, fictional box of crackers. One of the things that's really been interesting, though, is to watch the packaging from so many suppliers of different products across the board, whether it's a wine bottle, which, where they do the part on the bottom of the bottle and they push up the glass a little bit, or they make the box facing you skinnier so you don't see it from one side or the other, but it still costs you the same. But there was a supermarket in France that added shrinkflation warnings to quite a few products. I think it was about 3 dozen products over the last few months. And what they're doing is they're actually adding these price warnings and letting customers know that these costs have gone up and they're getting less, or the costs are staying the same and they're getting less. And what they're trying to do is to put pressure on manufacturers to reduce their costs. Part of that also is that when they go into negotiations, like if you think about your Walmart, the things that are up on the aisles or the major food chains, these manufacturers have to bid for placement so that they can get their product front and center in front of the consumer when they walk by. So it's very, it's prime real estate. But what the end result of putting these price warnings on there can also let consumers know that they are, there is some advocate, if you will, on their side. You and I that shop at, any place to get groceries, that these products they're calling out that these products, there's where less is less. And I applaud them. I wish they would do that here. I don't know if you're ever truly going to be able to pull that off, because the last thing that, any one of these big food manufacturers want is a lot of inflationary pressure on their brand. However, if they could call out shrinkflation instead of just trying to disguise it, I'd give them a hug.
Well, people are fighting back in this country, and here are a few examples. Most recent one is Burger King. They're facing a class action lawsuit because their burgers are about 35% smaller in real life than they appear on the advertisements. And of course, they've been shrinking over the past few years as inflation has been increasing. But they're not the only restaurant that's faced this. Walmart, Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, they've all faced similar class action suits. And I think one of the reasons they're facing these suits more regularly now is social media, because people get their burger, whatever sandwich, and they're ticked about how small the sandwich looks compared to what they were promised it was going to look like in the ad. And they can quickly take a photo of it with their phone, boom, post it on whatever channel. And then all of a sudden it starts gaining traction. And it starts to spread and people start getting fed up. And I kind of like this idea of sort of crowdsourcing the pressure on some of these restaurants.
Well, the more transparency, the better. But I will remind everybody, look, you are never going to have to deal with shrinkflation personally if you're always eating at McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's, because shrinking will not be one of your problems. It will be going in the other direction, as I have proven when I don't eat healthy. So
they want to shrink the food but supersize us.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna over deliver, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you for joining Shark and Trey on the Here's How We Get There show. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show, and visit here'showwegetthere.com. That's here'showwegetthere.com.